ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Stardom Review. I am your co-host, Undersea, right over here. It's the angry princess herself. It's Melball. How you doing, angry Melball?
She is furious. She is furious as F. But
Okay,
she's here. She's
she's the
happy.
she's the fast and furious princess tonight. It's
She
Melball.
is. Slappa, 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 slappa. How are you
we
doing, my friend?
doing pretty good. Can't complain. Been watching some good wrestling. Just had a really great weekend with my friends as we chatted about on the last show. But no, just great times.
Good times for all. To
Mm-hmm.
all a good night.
Get to hang out with my friends. Good life. Life is good. I've got a whole week, 8 days off coming up soon, which I wish I could say was gonna be good for this show, but I've got family in town, and I'm gonna be spending time with my family while they're here. So next week's gonna be a little bit spotty. So we're gonna try and knock out as much as we can the next few days here. Well, I'll be on. We'll be on for a couple shows. Like I know we'll be able to sneak away to do a couple shows next week, but
Mostly
it's gonna be
Stardom.
spot. Yeah, mostly Stardom because again, no New Japan until like the 8th, I think. So we're in the clear for New Japan for another couple weeks. So
Yes, yes. And you're taking vacation next week, and I'm taking the vacation the week after. So it's gonna be a little iffy.
and then the
I
week
might just get
after,
some
yeah,
Andre alone, and that's fine.
that's what I was gonna say. The week at the second full week of September, you'll probably get some just me jumping on here talking some New Japan, talking some Stardom. I'm gonna save the big stuff obviously to do with Mel, so don't worry about that.
All the big stuff.
All the big stuff. But we are here to talk the Stardom Midsummer Fest show. But before
Yes.
we get into that, I want to thank all of you, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank all the great support we've been getting from everybody. You've all been so supportive and loving. We're loving getting to interact with all you guys on the channel through the comments and everything. We really appreciate it. The subscriber growth has been awesome. Like we really appreciate it. And now we're going to be looking at to try and bring you guys some content through audio too. So we're gonna be this is a slow rollout for it, but we're gonna be trying to bring out audio content soon.
With
So I
Astro
want
Pizarro helping us at the helm with that one. Thank you to the beautiful Natural.
yes, very big thank you to the Natural because it's a lot of work, and she's
It
very
really is.
experienced with it. I understand some of it because I have a buddy who's told me about it. My buddy Adam, who's pretty successful with his podcast stuff. But I'm
Mhm.
just his way he does it is slightly different than the way I think we're gonna go. So we're gonna make our way through this slowly but dang surely.
Yes.
Yeah. But I want to give just before we get going, big shout out to Hypertext Harvest for dropping a comment in there, telling us what that little tag from Starlight Kid was,
Oh, yes, on her
saying
mask.
saying it was like the one she put in front of her opponent there after the loss or whatever.
Hmm.
Divine punishment complete. So thank you, Hypertext Harvest. We really do appreciate you giving us a little bit of translation.
Yes. Save that one. We're going to need to refer back to that one.
Oh, very much so. And then all the other great people, Bobby Bettito, Ray Z,
Bye-bye.
Joe Demetrius, Frank. Thank you all, everybody, and Jason Rutledge too. I want to thank everybody for all the great support that they've been doing
Mhm.
with our channel.
You can't hear that, but hopefully you felt it.
But so please like the channel if you can, subscribe to it. Comment down below because we love hearing from you. And I can't remember the last thing. What is it?
Sir.
I don't know. I know there's one more thing.
Sir.
Ring that notification bell, ladies and gentlemen.
Ding dong.
Hello. Shout out
Yeah,
to
ding
Bailey.
dong.
I love it. But we are going to get into it. We're going to talk some Midsummer Fest. And the
Yes.
poster for the show is just some legendary female Japanese wrestlers. And I'm going to give a little rundown on each one when we get to their matches. But yeah, now I'll admit, I stole the picture of these ladies for the thumbnail for this video because it was just like perfect.
It
I'll
looked
just use,
perfect. Yeah.
that's why I'm like, I'll just use it.
Hmm.
So we kick it off with a three-way match. It's Miss Crazy, the demon of my dreams, Miss Fukikin Death versus May Sarah versus Hanako.
Is that your Rhea Ripley?
Pardon?
Is that your Rhea Ripley? Isn't that her?
Oh, Rhea Ripley's
theme
a
song?
Rhea.
Sleep, breathe, the demon in your dreams.
Rhea Ripley means a lot of much different things to me. Let's just say that. All right.
Oh
I
dear.
don't. It's not a. Rhea Ripley is not nightmare inducing. Let's just say that. I'm all I'm gonna
Did
say.
she? I mean, it depends on what you like. If you're
Yeah,
scared of her, if you're like a hobbit sis, you might be a little terrified of Rhea Ripley.
I'm not. I'll just say this. I'm not scared of Rhea Ripley. Let's just say that.
Same. Relatable.
Yeah,
Relatable. She
yeah.
seems like a really chill dude. Girl.
May Sarah coming out with the balloons.
Oh.
Hanako and May Sarah do the handshake, but Yuki's giving them the death, Fuki can death
Hmm.
thing at them. Um, Hanako wanting to test the strength, but she's so much taller than both, so then they're both stomping her feet and attacking her.
Hmm.
Hanako uses May Sarah to knock Fuki out of the ring. She picks her up and throws her smashes her feet first into Fuki.
Hmm.
May literally climbs up her and gets into the rear naked choke. I was
Yeah.
really impressed by that.
Very,
Um,
very
Fuki gets
relatable too. As a little person, like sometimes that's the only thing that you can do to kind of protect yourself. If you can maneuver yourself there, it's pretty easy to sink in.
yeah, Fuki gets the newspaper, then comes in and gets a Hanako assisted rope walk, and then jumps off with the paper to the head. Um,
Yes.
Yeah, Hanako holding Fuki back by the forehead, just no, and she's swinging, then she hits her with the boots twice, and gets a pin, but it's broken up. Hanako slams May, and then she gets a double single leg crab on both Fuki and May Sarah, but they both
Yeah.
do eventually get to the ropes. I really like the difference in that.
Mhm,
Um,
mhm. Very fun
uh,
one for them.
Fuki pokes the eyes of May, then Hanako, and then she calls for the Brainbuster death. She goes, Brainbuster death! To just to get in Hanako, but Hanako just suplexes her, no problem.
Yeah. Irony.
And then May and Hanako fight, and May gets the wheelbarrow roll up to Hanako and gets the win.
Yeah, yeah. You definitely mentioned like all the fun stuff that I mentioned. But May Sarah, man, that little May May, she knows how to move. Holy heck. Especially at the end sequence there with Hanako, she really
Mhm.
turned up that high speed. And like it was, I wanted to write down everything she was doing, but she was just doing it so quickly. It was impossible, like even pausing it and trying to, okay, what did she do in a ADHD? I forgot instantaneously. But,
Yep.
tomato, tomato. I really enjoyed. I wrote down May turned up the Sonic shoes in that final sequence. She was just go, 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 go. She was barely on the floor for a split second before she was popping back up. It's like the girl is made of rubber. She
Mhm.
bounces off everything. It's incredible. But then her charisma is just it's so
Mhm.
adorable. She's just like even though sometimes with Suzu, you do see her kind of do that kind of bad girl stuff tendency, almost a way to tie-esque. Um, it's it's forgivable at this point. I feel like she's so adorable that she could just be like, "Oopsie," and I'd be like, "Yeah,
Well,
it's okay."
I love her charisma, her everything. And when she's matched with Suzu, because they are so different in the way they both have incredible charisma, but
Mhm.
it's completely different in how they each portray it. And I
Yes.
love just the contrast in them, and it's such a perfect pairing.
This
Eh,
is why I definitely feel, despite your objections to this, that's why I feel Micah fits perfectly. She fits perfectly. And I'm not gonna lie, we can discuss later, I believe, in this show,
Mm,
Suzu and Micah.
we will, we will.
Yes, we will.
We move on to the mismatch team of the night. It
Yeah.
is the team of the sisters Hanan from Stars, Hina from Queen's Quest, and Rina from Oedo Tai, taking
Mhm.
on Lady C from Queen's Quest, Wakasukiyama from Club Venus, and Yuna Mizumori from Cosmic Angels. I think every team was represented here.
Yeah.
Stars.
Yeah. God's Eye.
Oh, God's Eye. But they don't really have a junior at this point. That's the thing. Other than, yeah.
Tomoaki, I think, is
Yeah, she's barely there.
her sister.
I, yeah. But they're barely there. They're wrestling in other places. So it's the
I
sisters
mean, this
versus the
show is about
mismatch.
people who are barely there. Come on, my guy.
Yeah, it's the sisters versus the mismatch. Waka back in her classic gear. I didn't care for it. I don't like her old gear. I
Yeah,
was
now that we've gotten a taste of what's in this picture, I don't want to go back to the Wakatits.
well. There's that, and then there's another set of gear she had in between the Waka tits and this one that I like better than the Waka tits. But yeah, that's you're describing it,
Yeah.
so I'm going to say it. Yuna trying to do a double slingshot to see in Waka, and it just doesn't work. It like
I
doesn't
mean,
connect.
bless her enthusiasm.
Oh, it was so bad.
It was hilariously awful.
Yeah, Hina sweeps Lady C and tags in Rena, who gets the corner knees and a dropkick for two. Waka gets in. Rena and Walker are trading shots, and Waka gets the oblivion out of the ropes.
Mhm.
Um, Waka tries the straight jacket hanging thing to Hanan in the corner, but she fights it off and they brawl. Waka gets the sunset flip for two. Hanan then gets the running famouser for two. Waka slams Hanan, but Rena ends up like stomping on Waka's back to break up the pin. Um, Hanan gets a roll up into a crucifix on Wakasukiyama, and she gets the win. And then
Mhm.
Rena kicks Hanan in the ass when they're all standing up. And I just laughed.
Yeah, yeah. It was hilarious to me because I feel like she was trying to play back to her Oedo Tai roots in that, which I found funny because one of my notes in this was that she was not wrestling in this match like an Oedo tire. She was actually wrestling, like not having any of the Oedo Tai girls in her corner to really kind of rile her up. She was straight out wrestling with her sisters. It was phenomenal. The triple judo toss that the sisters all performed on, we'll call Team Mismatch over there, um, was just so crisp, so good. Hina hitting the everything is Hina on Lady C was pretty good. And Lady C, man, like it's been a hot minute since we've seen her. She's been a little absentee, but from the ring anyway. I think I've seen her a few times on the outside, but she hasn't been featured
Hmm.
as heavily in the shows. I've been missing her, and seeing her back in the ring was a joy.
Hmm.
I love her gear; it gives me Beetlejuice vibes. Um, and yeah,
You thought the same thing, right? I
yeah,
thought the
that's
same
right.
thing. Yeah,
I liked it. I
me
really like
too.
it, but I also like that spooky shit. Um, Yeah, I was actually surprised that Hanan picked up on the win on this, but then should I really be surprised from the win that she picked up on the last show? Probably not.
I just really wish it wasn't Waka getting pinned every goddamn time.
Yeah, I would have liked to. I hate to say it because I love Yuna, but I think I would have liked to have seen Yuna take the pin on this one.
Yeah, I
Just
agree.
because Waka, it's like they had this incredible story with her, and then they just dropped it once it ended, and I don't like that. The story needs to continue for Waka because it makes me scared for Utami, who has also just returned from excursion, and there's some questionable things that have been happening up until this point with her and her win loss ratio. She just lost to Azumi, which not that great for Azumi, but you she is considered. It would be like Hiromu Takahashi defeating Naito.
Hmm?
They're two different size classes to me. So that has for me taken some wind out of Utami's sails.
Hmm.
But we're also going to talk about Utami later in the show.
We will. And we're going to move on to my favorite tag team, Rose Gold. Mariah May and Mina Shirakawa taking on Megan Bain and Tekla. Um, Tekla and May and Mariah May at the start just wooing off and then doing the poses at each other. And then the gif you sent me of Mina Shirakawa coming in and just shaking her titties. And they even shook the camera with it too.
I mean,
Wow.
Booby
Boob-
san. When those
Yeah,
things start boobying, the
I,
earth starts shaking.
I literally called it the Booby San Shake. uh,
Yeah. Do you want to know what I wrote down for, for my note on this?
what's
The
that?
beginning spot was for the boys and lesbians.
Oh, so you enjoyed it? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, no, I haven't struck out with the guy so much that I'm really willing to hop the fence yet. But
Yeah,
we're getting close.
yeah. Um, they get Bane in, and like Mina flips the front. She has these the little things that hang down, like
Oh
off her
yes, the little
ear, and
loincloth
like
thing.
Mina flips the first one, goes ooh, and then May does it to the back one. She goes ooh, but then like and then Bane just like no, just grabs him and smashes him
Oh,
faces
they
together.
both freaked out for her when they lifted the butt flap, as it will. You know why?
Yeah,
She was pretty much wearing a thong, and goddamn, is that woman built like a freaking brick shit house. She is so strong, so powerful, but then she's got such a nice butt.
yeah.
And yeah, I haven't hopped the fence yet, but maybe
Second
Ben could make me.
Seko catches Mina in the corner and does the over the top rope head scissors. Bane's in. She slams Mina, then picks up Thekla and slams Thekla onto Mina, and Bane gets a 2 count. But
Continue our
Bane is just happy
moves.
to use her partners as weapons.
And they might
Me,
as well make themselves useful, right?
Mina starts kicking the legs of Bane, but Bane like catches one and just picks him and yeets her over her head. Um, May gets the top rope drop kick to Bane, unloads forearm, but Bane's like not getting really effective. Club Venus double teamer with strikes, and they try to go for that dual sweep thing they do, but they don't. They don't. It just doesn't happen, and Bane takes out Mina with a lariat, and then
They don't.
they just
They just
don't. They
don't.
just didn't do it. And then she hits the swinging Uranagi onto Mariah May. Um,
Oh,
Thekla hits the boot to the head and the ropes to Mariah May, and that May cuts her off up top. Hits the Trish Stratus Rana, followed up by the Barbie Blade, but then Thekla hits the spear.
yeah.
May gets the TKO after Mina hits a roundhouse kick to Thekla, and she gets a 2 count. They hit the electric chair bulldog combo for two to Thekla, but then Bane comes in and Germans May out of the ring. Like, Germans her, and she goes flying out of the ring.
We.
But Mina then sends Bane out to the floor, hits a high cross off the top. They get back, May and Thekla back in the ring. May goes for the happily ever after tombstone. Uh, After Thekla went for the spider pose, she like grabs her and just picked her up into the happily ever after.
Mhm.
But Thekla rolls her through into a pin for two. But then May reverses the pin, and she gets a 1, 2, 3 rolls gold, gets the win.
Yeah. I'm not. Here's the thing. This was just a fun match. I really didn't care who was winning.
I did.
I just enjoyed the ride. It was a fun little match. It had everything that I wanted. It had strikes. It had technicality. It had power moves. It had comedy. It was great. And then, of course, it had the beautiful women that are standing before us. What I'm not liking is that, if I'm not mistaken, which I don't think I am, the only champion in this match took the pin.
Okay, so
That's
Rose Gold
not
grabs
good.
Waka. So Rose Gold grabs Waka, and they go chance for the artist titles. I'm down with that.
Don't be ridiculous. Waka's on a losing streak again.
Okay,
Um,
they go grab Xena then. Whatever, Xena, Jesse, bring back Zaya as the original trio.
I
Whatever.
think Zaya's in America right now and trying to convince Club Venus to come over for a visit, which I wouldn't be mad about. But what the point I'm trying to get to is that, number one, you should not have the only champion in the match take a loss to a non-champion. Number two, why the frick is Thekla on a losing streak? She's taken a lot of high important pins.
Because
She
okay,
lost that tag match with Julia. She lost another match before that we spoke on a show before. It's nothing making sense.
well, it makes sense if you look at it this way. Tekla is not in the 5-star Grand Prix. Bane is a project for this company. She ain't gonna take a pin. She ain't taking a. She took the pin from Tandam, but she ain't gonna take a pin in another match for a while. Mina and May are both still alive in the 5-star Grand Prix, so neither of them right now, because they're still alive in that tournament, are not taking a pin.
Then time limit, draw it.
Uh,
Don't make the champion take the loss, because for me, it's devalued the titles.
It doesn't. To me, it doesn't. But again, that's I just look at it from that perspective. So
When you have one team member who's one of the champions consistently taking losses, that's a problem. That is a problem. If you don't look at that as a problem, my guy, come on. It tells me that they don't deserve to have the titles.
yeah,
And we both know that Thekla is more than capable of being a champion.
oh, very much so. And if in reality, I wish it was if anybody was taking that pin from that trio, I wish it was my Sakurai. Arguably.
Realistically speaking, it would make sense on the level of veteran and experience, yeah.
Hmm.
But it wasn't my Sakurai, it was Thekla.
Hmm.
And like I get that Megan Bain is the project, and that makes sense. But that being said, she probably should have taken the win. I get that Mina and Mariah are both in the Grand Prix, but they've lost and won. Hell, they lost and won to each other.
I understand, but I'm just saying during tournaments, people in tournaments don't take losses. It's what it
Well,
is.
they
And
should have thought about that before booking the match.
I don't. I'm not disagreeing with you on that factor. I just don't think it hurts Thekla as much as you actually are saying. But in my eyes, I just it's in my eyes. I'm not
Hmm.
saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong. I swear, I'm not saying you're wrong. Micah and Suzuki versus Ami, Saray, and Sai. Ida. Ami gets the speed chops till Suzy stops her. They all fight. Ida and Ami get the speed chops on Suzu and Micah, and they both get the double gorilla chop.
Mm-hmm.
That big. I'm gonna call it the double gorilla chop because Ida and her gorilla thing, right?
Yes.
Suzu then gets the drive-by kick to Ami, and then the running knee to the back of the head. She's stopped up top, and Ami gets the Argentine backbreaker and puts Suzu in the corner and splashes her. High angle crab by Ami to Suzu, but she gets rolled up off a power bomb attempt. Uh, Hard German by Suzu, but Ami then comes back. Hits a hard ass lariat. Suzu gets the spear to Ida. Micah in with lariat to Ida. Then Ida gets some to Micah, but Micah drops Ida with another huge lariat. Ida slips out of the Micah power slam, chop blocks a knee, and hits the sliding D. Uh, Rolling Death Valley driver by Ami, and she picks up Ida, tosses her onto Micah with an elbow drop, and Ida gets two. Micah and the end of the match is Micah and Ida trade shots, but Ida drops Micah. Then Micah comes back, she drops Ida, then hits the Michinoku driver two for the win.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This was a fun match for me. I really enjoy seeing Suzu and Micah together.
Mm-hmm.
Another mismatch match, if you will. Because Micah, obviously DDM, Suzu's kind of free agent, we'll say. Ida in Stars and Ami in
Mm-hmm.
God's Eye. Was Mirai on the show? Yes. Was Mirai on the show?
No.
I just realized that. Anyway, um, I really enjoyed the machine gun chops that Ami and Asaya did to Suzu and Micah. It's nice to see them kind of uniting a little bit, doing
Mm-hmm.
similar moves. I definitely felt, I think it's just based on how much longer they've been working together, that Suzu and Micah were definitely more cohesive, we'll say.
Mm-hmm.
Ami and Ida did work very, very well together, but they didn't work as well, I felt, as Suzu and Micah. Um, I really enjoyed that final kind of showdown between Ida and Micah, where they were just trading shots, trading lariats, just leveling each other. These two were just playing so well off of each other. I absolutely loved it. And then afterwards, I wish I could understand what they were saying. Ida really frustrated getting in Micah's face, and Micah kind of yeeting her a little bit there. Then having words with her partner Suzu after, and taking a little, um, we'll say, page out of Nasty Nate Nixon's book, and they started tenderizing each other's titties before leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't understand what was going on there, but it seemed to be jolly good fun.
I
They
don't
were
know what to say.
smiling. I mean,
I don't know what to say from that, but okay.
Well, like they laughed about it. It seemed like a rib, like just a inside joke between the two of them that they just had going on.
Yeah.
Micah's chest sure matched her hair and freaking outfit after taking those machine gun chops. So let me tell you, ouchies.
Hmm. We move on. Final matchup before we get into the other stuff. Stars Kokumo and Mayu Utani versus Gadze, Saki Kashima, and Shiri. Saki and Koguma high five at the start, but Koguma picks her up and slams her, and Stars end up getting the double team. Saki gets the head scissors to Koguma and dodges a lariat, hits a beautiful back fist. Looked really good.
Mhm.
Shiri ends with the strikes and the kicks, hits the top rope famouser for two. Koguma gets Suri in the bear clutch, but Saki gets hits her with. She pulls off the corner pad and hits her with it. Very much not God's eye like.
Yeah,
Um,
I thought that also.
yeah, and then they each get a submission onto Koguma and Mayubatani, and they pose with the turnbuckle while holding the submissions.
I wish I knew what that said.
Yeah, me too. We have somebody that's already translated for us. Maybe we
Please
need
let
some more
us know.
translation. Um, uh, Corner hop into the double stomp by Saki to Mayu. Saki hits the STO, or then Suri hits the STO, and Saki gets the stomp off the top for two. Then hits the Angel's wings for two. Mayu reverses the Prettier from Saki, and then Koguma runs in and hits a cutter, and then they do the wheelbarrow flip slam
Yeah.
for and but they do that. Saki reverses the crucifix into Kishi Kase by Mayu and gets a two. Then Koguma comes in, DDT's Siri. Mayu goes up and Stars hit the sandwich top rope drop kick. Very
Mhm.
interesting there. And Mayu applies the standing dragon sleeper, and Saki Kashima is forced to submit.
Yes, let's talk about Saki. I got excited when new music hit and she came out and I saw a gold robe and I was like, we got new gear. We did not. We did
No.
not get new gear. We just got a new robe and new music. We're working on it. We're working
Hey,
towards the
hey,
new
she
gear.
got the new robe. Maybe the next is a new skirt,
Next step.
then a new top, and then new hair, and then
She
just
already got the new hair. She went dark.
yeah. But she's got to change the style up.
They actually both went dark now that I think about it. Both Suri and Saki have their natural dark hair now.
Ooh, is corrupting Suri.
I mean, could you imagine though? Little touch of evil in Suri? Could you imagine? Could you
Mm,
imagine with what she's doing right now? That'd be pretty cool. I enjoyed Saki doing the kaguma, kaguma, kaguma at the beginning. Um, Attacking Kaguma with the turnbuckle was just hilarious. Um, yeah, the submissions and posing with the turnbuckle. Now, what was the sign? Because if I'm not mistaken, was that a strong spirit sign that she brought in on the intro also?
I don't remember.
Because she is being advertised, or at that time was being advertised as a um, wrestler card for strong spirit. So I'm wondering if maybe that was an advertisement for that. Which awesome! That's the first person I would have seen sensationalizing that.
I've got her wrestler card.
I do too. I were you as lucky as I was and got her on the first draw? Because that was like the first time I
Well,
ever
no,
did that.
I got her off of Mayu Iwatani draw like a few weeks ago. Is when I got her.
Let me tell you, it took me 16 draws to get Micah.
Oh, really?
I was not happy.
It only took me like 3 or 4 to get Micah.
Yeah, lucky bugger. Um, Back to the match. I was surprised that Saki took the win on this again. Not the only champion in this, but the obvious one to me would have been Koguma taking the loss to Suri.
Yeah.
However, or even Isaki, because Saki did just defeat her for to retain her high speed title. So to me, it kind of seemed weird to see Saki taking the loss,
Mm-hmm.
but like maybe it'll be part of her evolution. Maybe there will be something that comes out of that. We'll have to wait and see. I'm hoping so. I just don't want them to drop the ball like they done with Waka.
Mm-hmm. We'll see. We'll see. But at least this was a really good match. Unlike the next one,
Yeah,
this fucking sucked.
I
As much
actually
as I
took a lot of notes on this one.
I did, but it all fucking sucked.
You
Like,
know what? It wasn't all a suckery. It was just like one or two people really creating the most suckery and everyone else trying to not fall to the suckery but still ending up falling to the suckery.
yeah, my biggest problem was Tom Matsumoto. She, like, I understand she was very physically limited,
Oh yes.
but fuck, dude, she didn't like when she wasn't tagged in. She just leaned against the corner. She didn't
Because
even
she
go.
wouldn't be able to get back in the ring if she left.
I understand, but the fact is, she kept just coming in and smacking people with kendo sticks. That was just like, fuck, man. Like,
Man, let's get into it, man.
uh, so we have Kyoke Onoue, and teaming up with Azumi Miyamasaki, Utami Hayashishita. So Kyoke Onoue, uh, is a pretty legendary wrestler in Japan, women's wrestling in Japan. She wrestled in that 1995 Women's Survivor Series match in the WWF.
Hmm.
She helped create the promotion Neo Japan Ladies Pro Wrestling, and then she also helped create World Women Pro Wrestling Diana, which currently runs to this day.
Hmm.
So she has had a big influence on professional wrestling and Japanese
She has
professional
a
wrestling.
resume.
And then they're taking on Dump Matsumoto, my favorite goddamn name, Oedo Tai, Natsukatora, and Ruaka, and Zap. Um, so Dump Matsumoto, again, legendary Japanese wrestler, 62 years old. Yeah, she wrestled back in the day with Bull Nakano and a lot of others. Worked for All Japan, in the All Japan Women's promotion, All Japan Women's Champion, WWA World Tag Team Champion in All Japan Women's. Uh, yeah, again, just kind of a legendary figure in wrestling, but again,
Oh,
very old, very limited.
this
And then she,
explains Tora to me.
yeah, she's kind of the old version of Tora. It's
Well,
kind of
not even that. Tora was dressed up. Like she's wearing her regular gear like in this picture, but she was rocking the new hairstyle, so she had the partial shave
mm,
above the ear there that a lot of, girls are doing. She was rocking a new do. She was rocking her usual makeup, but girl had so much highlighter on her face, she glowed.
yeah. I
I
think
loved it.
I'm pretty sure it's like more of a tribute to Matsumoto. And then her tag team partners,
Exactly.
her tag,
She showed up because her legendary hero was probably there.
yeah, and then their partner Zap is actually wrestling Tomoka Watanabe. She wrestled under Zap T, Candy number two. Yeah, she's worked in All Japan, a lot of different wrestling. I worked for was in the Survivor Series tag team elimination match in WWF '95. Works for Marvelous, Diana, Pro Wrestling Waves. Like she still works for Marvelous. So, but she was actually
Impressive,
quite
impressive.
decent in this match.
Oh yeah,
Again,
she did great.
former two-time All Japan Women's Champion,
Mhm,
two-time All Pacific Champion from All Japan, former two-time or three-time All Pacific Champion, two-time Tag Team Champ. So again,
mhm,
these women have a lot of history. It's just
mhm.
like dump was the worst part of this match, and I'm sorry she took a dump on this match. Yeah, dump
Oh,
starts the
Lord.
match, attacking Queen's Quest. The Royal Ties follow suit. They all fight to the floor. She's like tossing Miyu into the chairs, hitting her with a kendo stick. Dump gets a camel clutch in the ring, pulling on Miyu's hair, and there's Oedo Tai's coming in and kicking her and everything. Um,
Yeah.
zaps in,
I
hits.
have opinions on that one.
Yeah. Miyu tries the German dump, but dump just falls backwards onto her and gets a pin for two. Like, fuck. Uh, Kyoko comes in, eventually takes down Dump with a bunch of lariats. Raka's in, choking Mio in the corner. Mio fights back with a cross out of the corner. Kyoko and Raka brawl. Azumi comes in to help, and Kyoko tosses Azumi off the top onto Ruaka. Um, Raka reverses the Rainmaker from Utami into a fisherman suplex. Way to tie and the other team. The whole way to tie team and others attack Utami, and Zap hits a splash off the second to Utami and gets a 2 count. Kyoko helps Utami in the ring, and she gets a lariat on Zap for 2. Dump hits Zap with the kendo stick, and Utami gets the German on Zap. Dump hit her like Zap accidentally, but Queen's Quest hit the quad drop kick to Tora, but Dump just comes in and hits me with the kendo stick again. In a way to tie the team attacks, but Kyoko cuts off Tora up top, hits a superplex, and then Miyu gets a sit up pedigree for 2 on Tora. Dump and Tora hit Miyu with like a garbage can, and then they clothesline her with the kendo stick, and then they double missed her, and Tora gets the Death Valley Driver for the win. This match, but like I really wrote, this was one of the rare Stardom bad matches. Like, it was just pure nonsense. Dump just ruined everything for me. I'm sorry, Dump ruined this match for me. Like, I understand she's a legend, but fuck. And then I'll just get to the aftermatch before we go on. Dump comes out, starts attacking the ref with a kendo stick. Then she attacks the commentary team, smacks the crap out of Mina Shirakawa, who's on the commentary team with the kendo stick. Felt really bad for Mina. Poor Mina. Poor Mina. And yeah,
And
then
he was freaking mad when she got back on commentary too.
And then they finally leave. I'm gonna give it to you, Mel, because
yeah. Let's see. Miyu was the poor one. She was the sacrificial lamb in this one, essentially. She was in there at the beginning and she was in there at the end, and both times she was, getting her absolute shit wrecked. She the whole thing with Dump just smacking her around like she was a piñata was just horrible. But like, I felt so bad at one point because Kyoko is like wandering around the stadium looking for her team because they all got tossed into the chairs. At one point, she found Azumi and like did her best to drag her back, but man, they both Azumi and Utami at that point were nowhere to be seen for a lot of the match. I don't even really have a whole lot on Azumi and Utami in regards to them doing anything. The only thing I had with Azumi was poor Kyoko looking for other teammates, found Azumi, but was not useful. Like, yeah, and then I had the note. If Dump had gotten out of the ring, she probably wouldn't have been able to get back in. This poor woman, I mean, yes, she's a legend, but she can barely walk.
Yeah.
Let alone step in and out of the ring.
Like,
I was surprised that she was able to swing the stick.
Because like Kyoko, a lot older, was just fine. When she came in and did some work, she was great. Zap, when she was in doing work, she was great. It just took a dump all over this match for me. And I hate saying
fantastic.
it. Yeah,
but I hate movable.
I hate that I hate this match, but Dump was just such a big presence throughout this match, and such a big presence in a bad way, and that's why I don't like it.
Yeah, Kyoko did fantastic in this match. She actually was reminding me of like a tame Ultimate Warrior. Like, she was doing so good, and she would get fired up, and she was very, very agile, very, very movable still. Again, I forgot Utami was in this. I barely saw her. Zap was also very impressive. Like, she was doing a lot of really good heavy lifting work when the rest of her team was kind of like, I don't know what they were doing. This one was okay for me in the beginning, but it did quickly break down for me once I realized that Dump wasn't getting out of the ring, and she was just, it felt like she was only there for the pin breakup. To just run in and just whack somebody with the stick and like whack them all. Match doesn't end yet. A yuck. It broke
Mhm.
down a little too much into glorious, glorious chaos, but there was nothing really glorious about it. I say it sarcastically.
It was
Um,
just uh,
Ruaka,
terrible,
though.
terrible chaos.
Yeah, Ruaka with that flying crossbody on the bottom rope, though, still
Mhm.
something I really, really like. That's simple but effective. She was moving really fast in this match, which made me
Well,
very, very happy. I
well,
know
she
in
moves fast
comparison to her
compared to her
teammates.
teammates. Anybody like, dude, I would look fast compared to her teammates. Come on.
Yeah, but like Tora's pretty agile, and
But
Zach
again,
was moving pretty good. It
yeah,
just
but
Dump brings
yeah.
down the average. And like, but I'll say this about her. Her eye makeup is fucking killer.
Mhm.
She has such a great look for what it is that she's supposed to be doing. Um, the trash can spot also confounded me. Was that a trash can? Just a random trash can that she just
Mhm.
bonked on Miyu's head. Poor Miyu. Just absolutely obliterated in this one. Not impressed that they missed the mist. Like
I
there's
mean,
barely any mist on her
well,
face.
she had a bunch of red on her face after.
On her forehead.
Okay, but it got in the eye. It got some got in the eyes. It's red.
Slow
It's red
down,
mist.
girl.
It crawl.
Slow down, not
It's
up.
red. It's red mist. It crawls down and goes into and crawls into the. It crawls.
There was
It's
no
red mist.
crawling. The only crawling was bump after the match up the ramp. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna move on because that
Yes,
was.
this one was fun.
So if you have that match and you put this one next, this feels like a match of the year contender, and we got an even better match in the main event.
We did.
So yeah, we have Hazuki. Sorry, let's start it out. We have Cosmic Angels, Natsupoi Sarah Ariano, and Tam Nakano taking on Hazuki, Shinobu Kandori, and Takako Inoue. God damn, it's hard to say. Takako. I just want to say
Powerful.
Taco. Um, Shinobu is actually a politician now with the Liberal Democratic Party in Japan.
No
Um,
kidding.
I don't know if she's still like actively doing it because she's 58. Um, she's retired. I think she's
Wow.
retired at this point, but she went the same way as uh, God damn it, Inoki, and got into
Oh,
politics.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
That kind of makes sense with the intro gear she had. Yeah.
So yeah, again, another woman who wrestled a lot with all. Where she was a world single champion in All Japan Women's. She worked for Japan Pro Wrestling, Ladies Legend Pro Wrestling. Again just another legend in the business who I really did like. And she's had a mixed martial arts career. She fought in Rising, or she was supposed to fight in Rising, uh, but she didn't actually get to fight back in 2016, which would have been making
Oh.
she made her only 51 when she was supposed to have that fight. So like again, she did some mixed martial arts with Ladies Legend Pro Wrestling back in the 90s when a lot of the promotions were doing the shoot fighting stuff. Yeah, she had a couple fights back then. So again, she's had quite a career. And
Hmm.
then Takako, in a way, another kind of legendary wrestler in the business. I worked for All Japan Women's and everything, and a lot of these women worked for All Japan Women because that was the promotion for them back in the day. She did some work with Ladies Legend Pro Wrestling. Worked for DDT. She is a former Iron Man heavy metal weight champion. Worked for Pro Wrestling Diana. Again, multiple championships in All Japan Women's back in the day. So again, both very accomplished professional wrestlers,
Hmm.
in legends in the business. And these
Hmm.
two both held up quite well and did pretty damn good. Like I wouldn't say they were spectacular compared to what we got in the main event, but did very good.
Hmm.
I enjoyed this match.
I did
Takako,
too.
I'm gonna end up calling her Taco at some point. I know that. Takako comes in with a stick and like she's threatening, and the ref has to take it away. It was actually I found that quite funny. Cosmic Angels triple team Takako with the splashes and the drop kicks. Takako stops Nat's stomping on Nat's face. Then she hits a stiff DDT, tags in Hazuki, does the boot wash in the ropes. Then she tags in I wrote it as Shin for Shinobu because this was easier to type. She types in Shinobu. She brings in Shinobu to headbutt Nat, and then she just headbutts the shit out of him. She's like one just hard headbutt. It looked great.
Mhm.
Hits a tree slam. Nat comes fighting back with the cartwheel bomb, but it looked like Shinobu took a kind of a weird fall on it. But again, I don't think she was ready to take it in this sense. 'Cause, again, probably a move she's never taken before.
Mhm,
Um,
mhm.
Shinobu gets the choke on Nat. Uh, then Sayori gets the choke on Shinobu. Then Nat poses beside them, and then Takako gets a choke on Sayori, and then Hazuki comes in and chokes Nat. It's just a stupid fucking spot that Nat didn't try to break up Shinobu's choke. I don't understand that. This chick is fucked in the head. Um, yeah. Uh, Shinobu gets the Fujiwara armbar, but lets it go. Naka strikes, but Shinobu fights back, and then she does get the Fujiwara armbar, but it does get broken up. I think she's. I don't know her wrestling what it was. But I think she's famous for using the Fujiwara armbar back in the day. I think that's why everybody
Crime
reacted so
pop.
big to it.
Yeah.
Um, uh, Sayori and Takako trade strikes and kicks, but Takako eventually drops it with a boot. Anu fights back, hits the bridging fisherman suplex for two, but Takako gets up, hits a spinning back fist, but the pin is broken up, and Anu hits an enziguri and another fisherman suplex. Team Has, I'm going to call them when they're grouped, all get rear naked chokes, and Hazuki has it in deep on Nat, but Nat does get the rope,
Mhm.
but Has hits the full Dustin Slam in the senton for two. Haas and Nat trade strikes. Haas goes crazy on Nat, dropping her, but Nat gets a couple spin kicks and a release German. Nat goes up, but then we get a big ass 6-person Tower of Doom with Nat taking the worst of it.
Mhm.
And Shinobu gets a swinging rear naked choke on Nat, and Takako hits the backdrop driver. Hazuki gets the top ropes, and I thought it was over, but it wasn't.
It
Uh,
should have been.
Nak gets the Ferio ring onto Hazuki. Then Tam gets the cutter, then they get a triple down kick thing by like triple axe kick thing that Cosmic
Mhm.
Angels does to all of Team Hazuki. To Team Hazuki, Sayori hits the drop kick to Haz. Then Tam gets the knee off the top. Then the fairy splash, flipping splash, but it gets broken up. The pin. Uh, Shinobu accidentally hits Hazuki when Hazuki's trying to German Nat, and Nat gets to roll around the ring into the pin for the win.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting, based on the beatdown that Hazuki was giving Poi at the end there, I wasn't expecting her to be able to pick up the win, but she kind of went, found that dark fairy kind of thing, energy there to kind of pull that off. I kind of felt that Takako was what Natsupoi should be with her outfit, very black and dark and um, fun and stuff like that. Um, I really, really actually enjoyed Takako, and I felt that she was in there for quite a bit of the match, doing a lot of great work with Anu, which is not something I thought I was going to say in some time. But I don't know if it was that she was in with a legend and she knew it, or if she's just finding that personality. But I was seeing facial expressions and like emotion on the face of Soriano. And it was nice to see someone getting that emotion out of her. She was very, very impassioned when they were trading those boot strikes, back and forth, the pumping boot strikes that they were doing. I really, really enjoyed that as something so simple, but it set up a pace for the rest of the match for me.
Mm.
And Takako's spinning back fist is just Kenta level. Gosh dang, that thing looks like it hurts. Um, Shinobu's gear is tremendous. She reminds me of a Dragon Ball Z character. Like it
Mm-hmm.
looks like a Dragon Ball Z singlet to me, and I
Mm-hmm.
love it. Especially because she was so strong. Like her headbutts were incredible. Very, very talented wrestler. I really enjoyed watching her. I know this. She's a legend. She's retired. You said right?
Mm-hmm.
That's unfortunate. I would love to see her more. She looks like she can still go at 53, you said?
Takako is 53. Shinobu's 58. Around there, I think. For around 53.
58? No way.
For
No
Shinobu,
way.
Shinobu's 58. Yes.
She don't look it. And she don't move like it. Gosh dang. Teach me your
Shinobu
secrets, woman.
Kandori, 58 years old. Yep.
Wow. I mean, goddamn woman. I'm
Kek-
39. I can barely move that way. Um, Normally, I love Tam Nakano and her offense, but her spin kicks in this one got to Young Buck super kick level for me. They were just happening too much. They almost became a regular strike. And I get it. She's a small girl. You're contending with someone like, especially like Shinobu, who's quite a bit bigger than Tom, but
mhm.
Tom's also tiny. Um, I felt she could have did something different. She's capable of better. She's the red belt champion. She earned that belt from Julia. You know, Julia is known for her strikes, and she didn't have to do the roundhouse kicks like that to Julia. I don't think she didn't need to do it to Shinobu. Um, but yeah, the finish of the match, like I mentioned, Hazuki just going absolutely feral on the back of Natsupoi's head, just drilling her with those endless forearms. I honestly thought that that was going to be the end. I thought she was going to follow it up and it would be done. And I was very surprised when Poi suddenly came back and ended the match.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Kind of is.
Hmm.
Move on to the main event. God damn, this was a good match, and this was 27 minutes.
Yeah,
So I'm not going through everything because shit.
it's long.
I took a lot of notes, but I'm gonna be skipping a bunch of them because I'd be here for another 20 minutes just talking about this.
Give us the
Um,
good ones.
Nani's gear looked amazing, by the way.
Yes.
Just loved it. Starlight Kid attacks for the bell. Her and Nakanishi have a great. Whenever her and Nakanishi are in the ring, straight up fire. Jaguar, uh, Jaguar Yokota, 62 years old.
Shut up. What?
Not even joking. 62 years old.
How do these women be almost double my age and moving better than me?
Uh,
God damn.
Steroids? I don't know. Um,
Obesity. Don't do it.
yeah, again, another woman who's like All Japan Women's Champion, All Japan Women's Junior Champion. Again, multiple other championships in the company. She has the Guinness World Record for oldest female pair to win a professional tag team wrestling championship this year with Mayumi Ozaki.
Wow. Holy crap.
And it is the World Woman Pro Wrestling Diana World Elizabeth Championship, which is the uh no, sorry, that is the tag team title. Um, yeah, and then she is the current World Woman Pro Wrestling Diana uh World Elizabeth Champion, which is a secondary title in that company. And then the title
Oh,
she won this year to become the oldest to win a tag title was the Oz Academy Tag Team Championships with Miyami Izaki.
wow. 62? Jesus.
Yeah, so
Holy
again,
moly.
really good, really good, worked really well in this match.
Yeah.
Nakanishi getting a beautiful camel clutch on Starlight Kid, and her team poses behind her. Hell yeah! Jaguar hitting a pile driver on Starlight Kid, and then just stands up and does the cocky pin for two.
Yeah.
That was just mean. I was just mean. Starlight Kid with a beautiful springboard cross and the standing moonsault to Jaguar for a two. Then Yu comes in and she hits the senton to Jaguar. Nakanishi trying to German Yu but can't, and she gets splashed into the corner by sent to the corner. You get splashed in the corner by Yu. Yu gets two, but she's stopped on the second rope attempt. Nakanishi tries to superplex but cannot because she's way too small. So Nana comes up and she suplexes her tag team partner. That wasn't cool. Yeah, dude. Momo Watanabe in. She's unloading kicks to Nakanishi. Starlight Kid hits a 619. Nakanishi gets a roll up on Watanabe until Starlight Kid breaks it up and Watanabe gets some PKs to her. Wrist clutch lariats by Nane to Starlight Kid, but she misses in the corner and she gets triple teamed. Starlight Kid hits the twisting frog splash for a two. Nana and Nakanishi double team Starlight Kid, but Starlight Kid gets saved by you. Starlight Kid hits the Asai moonsault to everybody on the floor. Then you gets the triple stink face, and then to the other opposing team. But she only gets the double cannonball to Nana and Nakanishi. And then Momo Watanabe hits the Dude Buster, and Starlight Kid hits the moonsault to Nane, but she only gets two. End of the match comes Fisherman suplex by Nane, but the pin gets broken up. Jaguar Yokota takes out Momo Watanabe with the bat, and Starlight Kid gets the roll up on Nane for two. Then Jaguar hits the flip double leg drop to Starlight Kid, and Nane and Nakanishi hit a double Razor's Edge to Starlight Kid, and Nane gets the win. She gets her revenge too by getting her win back on Starlight Kid. So yeah,
Poor Starlight Kid. Poor Starlight Kid in
she
this
got her
match.
ass kicked.
I was gonna say I wrote down a Drake quote. Got a lot of enemies, a lot of enemies, a lot of people trying to take her energy. Like, gosh, dang, woman. Everyone on Nane's team was taking they shots. They were not happy with her, but she held up well. I mean, and maybe that's the Oedo tie kind of thing in there. I don't know. Maybe it's just who Starlight Kid is. I think that's probably more likely. Nane really, really did take it to Starlight Kid though. Like the build up that these two did for this match was just tremendous. The triple stack clutch was hilarious, where I think it was Nane got the clutch
No, no.
on
Nakanishi got the clutch.
Nakani. Okay, yeah. And where they had the three of them, and they're just sitting there like, "Yay!" I was just like, "Ah, that's very Oedo Tai of you." They kind of switch back and forth in this match, but it was very obvious that Team Nane was the faces in this one. I really enjoyed Nakanishi's little pin attempt on you. I think you mentioned that, where that fun twisty neck
Mm-hmm.
pin thing that she taught Starlight Kid.
Mm-hmm.
Attempting it on you was just hilarious. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
girl, what did you expect that would result in? You got yeeted for your troubles. I felt like Momo Watanabe was actually sporting some new gear. Maybe I just haven't noticed the butt tassels, but the butt tassels seemed new. I liked it. I thought that the gear looked really, really great on her. The purple in her hair is looking really nice. And I felt that she was especially vicious in this match against Nane and Jaguar, especially. Her kicks are just ouch,
Mm-hmm.
and that bat is just a pain in the ass. I can't imagine that feels great. Um, Last thing I have written down is the double machine gun chop that Starlight Kid was having to pull out on Nani, where instead of doing the one, she was. That's comparable to what I would be doing in that situation. That's how a Melball fights. It's just all hands. Um, yeah, this match was utterly incredible. What a great way to end the show. And then to end it with Nane just riling the crowd up even more with her just charisma on mic. It was just so nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely tremendous match, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'll admit I didn't watch post match stuff. I'll admit that I didn't.
Nane cut an amazing promo. She got the crowd fire up. She had them chanting passion. She's like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to keep going. I was
But
very excited.
but to me, the most person I was most impressed by was Jaguar Yokota, dude, 62 years old and doing as well as she did.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
like,
yeah.
and that's a pure contrast to Dump Matsumoto, who's 63 and couldn't do shit. Like so.
I mean, if that can be an example of anything, it would be the different wrestling styles. It's obvious that Dump was in a very different kind of wrestling style, but also maybe took care of herself in a little bit different way
Mm-hmm.
than Jaguar did. Whereas Jaguar, it's very obvious she was more of an aerialist and also more of a technician. So
Mm-hmm.
she's probably not taking as many bumps, and her joints are probably doing a lot better
Like
than
Yeah, I would love to see Jaguar come back for some more matches. Same with the girls in the last
Hell
match,
yeah.
ladies in the last match.
Hell
Hell
yeah.
yeah! Like,
Could you imagine a one-on-one match between Jaguar and Tom Nakano?
no, I want Jaguar versus Starlight Kid in a straight up one on one match.
That would be okay. That would be okay. But I wouldn't mind seeing Tom or even Julia.
Hmm.
That'd
So
be fun.
a lot of good people for her to face.
Oh, the list would be endless.
But we have come to an end for another episode of Stardom Review. I want to thank all of you for joining us. Please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below because we love hearing from you. That's one of our favorite things is just getting to talk with you guys on in the comments section down below, and hit the notification bell to be alerted. When do you want to be alerted? Every time we drop a new video.
Ding dong.
Hello, shout out to Bailey. Uh, we're gonna get out of here, but before we do, we're gonna say our goodbyes. And I want to say you can find me on X, Mastodon, Blue Sky, and Hive at That Canada Guy. You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at That Canada Dude. You can find me on our Facebook page at Andre Melball Wrestling Talk. You can find me over there. Just message us there, and you can get a hold of me, or in the comments down below. You can also find me over at randomly whenever I pop up doing weird ass shit on our local establishment. I'm just gonna randomly just show up on a showdown day and just do something weird. It's gonna happen at twitch.tv/ our local establishment. Also on youtube.com/ at our local establishment. If you want to see my recap from or my previous show from what we did for me and Mike's choice or picks for All In, you can check that out over at youtube.com/at Backbreaker Video. If you want to see his live content, it's twitch.tv/Mike the Ref, and all his great gaming content is replayed at youtube.com/at Backbreaker_gaming, where you can find him, Mr. PJC, Mr. Rick Jules, and their frequent guest, Miss Kayla J.
Kayla J. Love Kayla J.
Melball.
Cute puppies.
Yes. Oh, okay, interesting. Cute puppies, eh?
She does. She has little Dachshunds.
I know, but in the world of professional wrestling, puppies mean something very different.
Come on now. We're not in the Attitude Era anymore.
Melball, where can they find you?
You can find a Melball on the X thing at Collins Melball. You can find her on everything else. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Blue Sky and Mastodon at Melball Collins. You can also catch her on our local establishment there on Paramindful with Alex the Werewolf and the gold standard Carl Carufel. We actually just recorded an episode like an hour before I got on here with my wonderful friend here on our first spooky season video. That's going to be about the least exciting cryptid thing to me, which is vampires. If you know, you know. That'll be coming out on Monday.
I didn't know they were spooky. I thought they just sparkled.
We're going to say that they do. You can also find me on Astro Pizarro's YouTube channel, where we have our episodes of our show, Ladies Wrestling Showcase. We're going to be dropping another episode finally on Friday. It's been busy. Well, we're going to hope so, because poor Astrid is in Florida right now, and she's getting a storm. There's a little bit of a sprinkle. There's a little bit of a storm there. So we're going to hope that it doesn't destroy the mainland.
So she's getting Florida.
Yeah, very much so. And I think that is everything. Oh, if you're wanting to watch Stardom World, you can, well, like you want Stardom Wrestling, you can go to stardom-world.com. It is approximately 999 yen, or approximately $10 US. Shadow Sean Spears, but it's actually more like $7.15 American. So it depends on what your dollar, euro, whatever else you're using is at that time. But for me, it was only $7.30, I think, this year or this month. Anyway, it's a great opportunity for you to watch some amazing professional wrestling, both of right now and of the past. If you go back into their data banks there, you can probably see some familiar faces from WWE specifically. So you want to go do that. That being said, my friend, do you have anything else to say to the beautiful people?
Thank you for tuning in.
Oh, short, sweet, to the point. That being said, I am your Melball. Over there is Andre. We will see you next time. Mwah!